And it was great meeting a lot of these different folks because they're presenting ideas and solutions that, investments and things people can do rather than just being fearful and worried about what's going on.
The land of Arcadia.
Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you on Friday, July 20th for this week's Arcadia Weekly Market Wrap-Up. And excitingly, as you can see in the background, are on the road today at the Sprott Symposium. There's a big picture of Rick Rule, who is headlining the festival. And we're in Exhibitors Alley, so sorry my shaky camera work there, but let's just give you a little look at what's going on. A lot of mining companies. Here is Contact Gold, Advanced Stage Nevada Gold Exploration. And a lot of interesting things going on here this week. Again, having spent 11 years on Wall Street before getting into precious metals and really diving into this world, obviously I'm a little bit biased, although from my perspective, I think you have some of the smartest folks in investing and money management here. Certainly given what's going on in this environment with endless money printing and debt, and my belief that that's coming to a head. It's been interesting seeing how many different investment opportunities there are out there. One of the themes this week has been certainly how, here again we see some more uranium company. Yes, a lot of talk about uranium. And as I was saying, one of the themes that I found interesting this week is really how there's a lot of people focused on getting away from that mentality, which does come up a lot. And there's the coffee rack, always an important part of any conference. But as I was saying, getting away from that mentality which happens a lot in this community, that the world's falling, the dollar is going to collapse, which in many ways is very likely to happen, yet that doesn't mean that it has to be complete Armageddon and the world is going to end. There are more coffee cups. Here are some of my friends from First Majestic Silver, my favorite mining company.
How are you?
Hello there, friends. How are you? Enjoyed your lunch. It was great to meet Keith Newmeyer this week.
Excellent.
Also Jeff Swinoga for Gold Investors. So thanks again for being here. Appreciate that. And it was great meeting a lot of these different folks because they're presenting ideas and solutions that, investments and things people can do rather than just being fearful and worried about what's going on. I've thought a lot through some of the presentations this week how certainly there's a lot of excitement here, which is good, although I'm going to come out here into the hallway now. It's interesting to think what this conference will be like perhaps next year and in the years going forward after some of the prices have started to move. I do believe a lot of the folks that are here investing in running many of these projects and ideas are on pace to do incredibly well financially, which of course is exciting. And again, that it doesn't have to be that typical theme that many have, and understandably so, but seeing the world coming to an end or a negative scenario. And I've really enjoyed some of the positive things, some of the positive people who are here, and seeing some of the solutions. Again, as I've mentioned before on the channel, when you think about 99% of the dollar has been printed away since the Fed was invented. Really anything that we're going to go to, certainly gold and silver, which again we see here is Miles Franklin. Great place if you would like to buy gold and silver. I do write for Miles Franklin and I'm a fan, so and we'll come out here to the main lobby where a lot of interesting conversations, things going on, deals being done, people making connections, which is one of the things that's nice about coming to these conferences. Certainly a lot of good speakers. I'm not allowed to film in that room, unfortunately. But it's just nice being around people who are seeing the same perspective. Again, getting past the, all right, world's falling apart, but what can we actually do? What are the solutions? Which is what I try and focus on. Hopefully I get there more often than not. But if you are wondering what's been going on and a little concerned about some of the traditional markets, whether it's the stock, bond, or real estate bubbles, certainly with all the things happening politically, we saw more trade war developments this week. Certainly Russia and the United States at least finally talking, and I did find that an interesting news story this week, how the idea that Trump and Putin were talking and didn't go there and beat the heck out of each other. Of course, the mainstream media getting upset about that, saying he's soft on terror and this and that. My perspective, we've had this pattern of country A does this, then we go blow them up faster and keep escalating. So always a fan of hearing any sort of diplomatic negotiations and people trying to find peaceful solutions. So there are encouraging things happening. Now, with that said, again, I do think that we are on the verge of a great financial adjustment. But again, when you understand how that's going to happen, which is the kind of thing that was covered this week and explained, and you see the different ways that people are out there addressing these solutions, addressing these problems, coming up with ways for people to deploy certainly their investment capital outside of the dollar, outside of the stock, bond, and real estate market. So again, I'm glad I was here. Certainly it's been nice to meet a lot of folks that I've read about or listened to get to see them in person and make a lot of new friends and see what's going on out there in the world. So if you're thinking about going to the 2019 Sprott Symposium, I certainly give it my highest recommendation. As you can see, it's a beautiful Fairmont hotel that we've been in here, downtown Vancouver. You can see Hotel Vancouver. If you want to bring the girlfriend or the wife and do some shopping, we got Gucci and all the good stores here. And again, perhaps as we wrap up here, really the biggest takeaway, at least for me, was just feeling the energy of, I think there's something special when you're in the place you're meant to be and around other people who have a similar perspective, and really being around that energy, talking with people who are on the same page, and then going back home and putting that knowledge to use. So I will continue to share what I'm seeing out there and covering. Oh wow, look, beautiful day out here in downtown Vancouver. And yeah, so I really just wanted to show you what we've been up to this week. Certainly talk about the markets plenty. I like to mix things up, and here, look, we got some sunlight rather than just my studio room. So with that said, gonna wrap up. If you have any questions about the Sprott Symposium, leave them below. There are recordings available of the entire seminar, so certainly you can catch up on what happened here. And again, leave any comments below. Hit that darn subscribe button. And with that said, have a blessed weekend. I'm getting ready to head to the airport soon, come back to Denver. But great week, and there are good things happening, and I will talk more about it next week. Thanks.